welcome to this episode of the Corporate Escapists TV show and podcast. I am your host, Christine Innes. Can I just say, I am friggin' excited. I'm going to try not to swear because I think most people know that when I get excited, I swear. But I've been really excited to have you on the show. We've done a few things together in the past, but Shayla, you are a powerhouse, my friend. Absolutely amazing. So I'm not going to say any more. I'm going to get you to introduce everyone, and then I know that we're going to have an epic conversation.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here today. For those who don't know me, you may know me as Shay online. That's kind of what I go through on my brand, but also my nearest and dearest in business know me as Shayla. Either way is totally fine. I would call myself a 25-year-old, gone through life, has done lots and lots of things. I like to say I've lived many, many, many lives, but currently now I'm a business owner of an incredible wedding and event floristry business, specifically in Brisbane, but servicing all over Australia, which has been an amazing experience and an amazing opportunity to learn and grow. This has come from many, I guess, backward steps in my career of going to uni and finding myself. And I'm currently in a space now where I'm servicing clients, businesses, lovers. It's just amazing. And I just love being here. I mean, so young in a world of so many great opportunities. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love the fact that we've had so many conversations. I got to interview you because I'm putting this amazing academy together, because we cross over from, I guess what society teaches us or tells us sort of what we're doing. But then everyone's got this own little inkling, within themselves. And it may not be a business owner, but there's a pathway just for you. What has that been like, discovering your own pathway?
Oh goodness, how much time do you have to start it? To give you a brief but also detailed rundown, like I said, I'm nearly 25, so I feel like most people be like, "Oh, you're so young." I feel like I have lived so many different career lives, and only now I feel so aligned. I actually went to university with the intention to study law, but year 11 and 12 is a very stressful, high pressure environment. I didn't unfortunately make it into law. I say unfortunately as a 17-year-old. Now I'm like, oh, thank goodness. But I moved into a space of human services and criminology. I studied that degree, gritting my teeth, to be honest. It was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. The pressure to keep going and not knowing any other thing in my life except to finish uni and go and get a job in that field was really hard. I landed my dream job in youth justice as a caseworker. And I did love it at the start because it's that whole, I found my gold at the end of the rainbow. This is amazing. I've worked so hard towards this. And of course, it takes not long until the world comes crashing down and you go, oh my goodness, this is not what I wanted. This is not what I'm here for. I'm feeling challenged. I was a 22-year-old, girl just in the world being like, wow, this is just a massive wake-up call of what do I do now? I haven't finished my degree yet, but I still continued. Silly me. I stayed in that role for 9 months post my placement there, and I was very, very lucky. An incredible team, incredible workplace, but my job of being a caseworker was honestly just so draining and depleted me from every area of my life. I couldn't be a business owner, which I had at the time. I couldn't be a good partner to my long-term partner. I couldn't be a good mum to my dog. There was so many things going on that it wasn't just affecting work life. It was becoming my entire identity. So fast forward 6 months, I've left that job and I've gone, I don't want that. I don't really know what I want to do. I still graduated the degree because I promised that to myself that the least I'm going to do is graduate this degree and ensure I've got that in case I ever want to go back to it. I can wholeheartedly say 1 year on from graduating, I will never go back to it. But I really dived very deeply into my business and focusing on what that meant to me. I'm a self-taught florist. I have never been to a school for floristry. I have never, done the normal path to anything really in my life. I like to think that the rocky road is where I'm like, oh, that's nice and shiny. I'm going to go down there. And it's usually the hardest path. But now looking at the, how you said, it might not be a business owner or it might not look like this, but I know that this path I'm on right now is so solid and so beautiful to me that others, it might look like really, really hard work. I'm like, this is so easy to me because I feel so aligned and so present in what I'm doing now of being a florist essentially in the wedding and event space.
Yeah. And it's hard, isn't it? Like, I mean, a lot of people, like, age is literally just a number. I mean, I'm on the other end of the scale, you know, I'm
Mm-hmm.
nearly 50, and, you know, but a lot of people go, oh, well, at my age, why are you doing this? But then they're also at your age going, well, why would you do that? Like, how
Mm-hmm.
can you, you
Mm-hmm.
know, be so multi-passionate, I guess, you know, with it? I think the age thing, and it's not just a gender thing anymore, it's so much of an age thing that's coming up when we talk about people in business.
Absolutely. And I guess to comment on that as well, I have found I've been owning a business out now since I was 19. And I have the first thing you say when you say I'm a business owner, they go, oh, that's so cute. And I'm like,
Yeah,
it's not cute. It is
yeah,
hard work. It is hours of no sleep. It is, pushing yourself beyond means because you're the only one keeping yourself accountable. If
yeah,
I'm being completely honest, even though I, mentioned that most people would say, oh, you're really, really young to do all those things. But I think I've become so accustomed to that response. I kind of just cop it on the chin now. And I know that
yeah,
when I am 30 in 5 years' time, or even 40 or even 80, because I can imagine myself just doing this for the rest of my
yeah,
life, I'm going to go, yeah, you know what? So what? Other people my age might be doing this, that, and the other, but I am so happy and I am so passionate about what I'm doing that it's going to push me further in life than being in a job that, I don't know, may pay me well, but I'm not enjoying. It's a really long time to be somewhere that I don't like.
yeah, absolutely. And I
Yeah.
guess the benefit that you've got also is, you know, I mean, I spent 22 plus years working in corporate. I mean,
Mm,
I know, and it's not like I was saying about the length of time, but you've been able to experience both the corporate world, but also being an entrepreneur. And a lot of people go,
yeah.
oh, it's easy running your own business. But the time factor, the energy, everything like that is so much more running a business
Mm-hmm.
than what it is that you could literally just settle and go work for somebody
Mm-hmm.
else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. What has been the biggest, I guess, change within yourself that you have found stepping away sort of from that corporate career to being like I don't want to say proper, but I'm trying to get the right word.
Mm.
But
To being
you know
like
what I
a
mean? It's,
business owner.
yeah, to
Yeah.
really fully embracing that role as a business owner.
Yeah. I think this is going to come back to a word that, goes across many things in life, but I'm going to say self acceptance. I think a lot of the time beforehand, I felt like a failure for leaving university, for, pursuing something that I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, or just even not knowing what I'm doing. It's that self acceptance of where I am right now. And even now in my business and leaving uni and going, that's over now. It's accepting myself for where I am, and also understanding that the path ahead of me is also so bright and I'm not even there yet. I think that's
Mm,
the biggest thing. That might not be overly insightful, but I do think that's something that has come up for me very, very often. It's just battling those inner thoughts and inner judgments of, can I do this? Can I? Of course I can do this. I've done so many hard things in my life. This is just another thing to put under my belt and go, I've done that as well. So self-acceptance is what I would say.
yeah, absolutely. Have you found like there's also been like an identity shift within yourself, that you were a different person potentially going to corporate to what you were as a business owner?
Yeah, I would say I show up differently. I am, I'm someone who I would always tell people I still work full time to fund part of my life that I need at the moment, which is a personal thing. But being a business owner, I show up so differently. I show up so excited, even on the 2 hours sleep, or I've been doing this and doing that, and on this call
Yeah,
and doing this job and flower market and all the things.
yeah,
I live so authentic to myself that when I show up in my corporate job that I'm currently still in for, right now, but also in my business as well. It's just incredible to see how you glow different, if that makes sense.
yeah,
It's almost that glow up in yourself. Like I do think looking back on my 19, 20-year-old self attending uni, wanting to dress a certain way to the uni girls, wanting to fit in and have the Mimco bag back then when I was like, 19 years old, doing all that stuff was such an identity thing of being a uni student and living that life. And now I've shifted away from that. I've actually found out who I am and what makes me happy. And wearing the clothes I want to makes me happy. Accessing the brands I want to makes me happy. Accessing my lifestyle choices as well is a massive thing as well. I found in the corporate world, the social drinking and stuff was something that was quite a big thing for me. It's not, and I don't do it or engage in it anymore. I think when you find something that you're so passionate about, whether it's something that's going to be forever or just a short time, you do go through that identity whole entire rebirth as such, which I think is so cool because you're not limited to 2 or 3 rebirths in your life. You could do it again tomorrow if you wanted to.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think as you grow and also the business grows, like your identity continues to evolve as well, because there's life events that happen.
Mm-hmm.
There's, as you get more comfortable in your business, you start to expand more, so then there's
Mm-hmm.
even more things that make us uncomfortable, but then also allows us to change our identity.
Absolutely. I always say beautiful things come from uncomfortable places, as hard as that may be.
Absolutely, absolutely. I always say to my clients, like, you have to learn to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And
Mm,
people are like, oh, what do you mean by that? I'm like, going, like, it's almost like if you're comfortable waking up, and just doing the same routine every single day, like, that's great. Let's just switch it up. And anything that makes you uncomfortable, it actually is normally the pathway that you need to go on.
mhm, mhm, absolutely.
Yeah. In business, what has been one of the biggest sort of undervalued resources that you've been able to tap into?
I'd say undervalued resources. It's not a program, it's nothing like that. It's just asking for help.
Yeah.
As crazy as that sounds,
Yes.
being a business owner, I think we often think, most people I've chatted with, yourself as well, that art of doing it yourself, being a business owner all on my own, I can do this all on my, I don't need anyone's help. I can tell you right now, as a florist, suspending flowers from the roof, I need my partner to be there. I can't
Yeah.
do it myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's also just times where I've had to surrender my business and go, right, I cannot be everyone and everything all at the same time. What does this
Mm,
look like for me to move the needle as such? What does this look like for my business to grow? And that looks like having staff on board now and having girls do other things for me that I can't do. And doing that has actually enabled my business to grow even more. Would you believe it or not?
yeah.
But definitely, I'd say an untapped resource that people forget about, and it, of course, is with your family and friends, it's free. But if you're hiring someone else as well, just negotiating what that looks like on your terms, I think is something really important and worth looking into before you access any programs or whatever it might be. Look at what's in your circle first, because I guarantee you those people are cheering you on for a reason and they'd be happy to be there and sell flowers for you any day.
I know, I love that so much, because
Mm,
it's two questions that I ask. So I have a monthly meetup, and two questions that we ask is, what can we help and support you with for your goal in the next 30 days? Because
mm,
it's so true. Like, we don't ask for help. We think
mm-hmm,
that we're in this little solo by ourselves, but
mm-hmm,
as we all know, that most of us, we're just such givers. We're like, oh my
mm-hmm.
God, how can I help you? What else can I
Absolutely.
do to do that to
Absolutely.
support you?
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. What is your next big goal for you and your business?
I think for myself, it's something that I'm manifesting right now. If there's any manifesting girl who's listening to this, you'll know what I'm saying. It's something that I've been stepping into is leadership. I
Yes.
feel I'm in a position right now where I have been working in the business so much and not working on the business. I have been the accountant, the social media manager, the owner, the face of the business at every single event, at every single, you know, um, event we flower at. I'm usually there then selling it after flowering for 6 hours to make it happen. I think what that looks like for me in terms of big move, whilst I want to say, take over the world and do all these things, right now, I've never felt so aligned to be a leader in my own business and show up for women as well who are in the same position as me or just behind me. I
Yeah.
think using my voice on really cool, I can't say exactly what it is right now because it is very exciting, but on really cool platforms and also in public spaces and events where I can use my voice to inspire others is something that I really am looking forward to in my business, and something I'm looking forward to stepping into my leadership. But with leadership also comes taking on those really hard decisions of who do I hire next? What does this look like to make sure I have more time to be able to give back to myself and the business as well? So, not exactly an event that is happening that's looking so amazing, but more a manifesting element of the business is stepping into my leadership. And that looks like multiple things.
I love it. I'm so excited
Yeah,
for you, for
me
where you're
too.
going. I think it's Like, as I said, I think you're a powerhouse, and I say it in such a positive way that
Mm,
you're determined. What I always say to people is that have a big dream. Like, I want you to dream as big as you possibly
mhm,
can, and I know that
mhm,
you've done it. But the way to make it become reality is take that aligned action. And I mean, I've known you for quite a few years now, and
mm,
you that's what you do. You take that aligned action
mm,
and you
mhm.
make it happen. It's not just ever like we talk about manifestation. A lot of people go, "Oh, I sat down and I visualized it." Like,
Yeah,
yeah, okay, well, you might be waiting quite a long time for it to
it's
happen.
the action behind it. Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely. I love it. I love it so much. Now we're going to pop all the details where everyone can reach out to you. And I highly recommend that you go and follow her. Like, as I said, you're just absolutely amazing. Before we go, I'd love to know, what would you give advice if you could go back in time when you
Mm.
first started out in business? What advice would you give to yourself?
I what I'm about to say, I actually have never thought of, but I just thought of it just then, and I'm gonna say it anyway, is just jump in with both feet. There
Yeah.
is nothing more scary than losing an opportunity that you were scared of yourself to do. There is nothing, oh, I got goosebumps.
Yeah.
There is nothing scarier in life than missing an opportunity because you were too lazy to do it or you
Yes.
felt too scared or too embarrassed what other people will think. I can guarantee you right now, once that embarrassment piece is gone, once that whole I'm putting in money into something that's not going to work, once that part is gone, you are going to be so grateful you put yourself and maybe your friends and family at the time on the line to make a bigger change. And you never know that your product business, say you're wanting to create a crochet business or even just a networking event, you never know who you're going to impact by doing that. And I can say, hand on my heart, whilst I service an industry of flowers and events and weddings, there are people who have reached out to me saying, Shay, I have followed you since you were 19, doing earrings back in the day, and you've evolved to such an incredible business, but also watching you as a person grow has been incredible. And whilst they're not a customer to my product, they have learnt from me as a person, and just showing up for myself every single day is so important. And whilst that is a very, very lengthy answer, just jump in with 2 feet. What's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to be back where you were in square one, which I guarantee you, when you go in with 2 feet, it's not going to happen.
Exactly. Oh my God. Amen.
Mm,
Absolutely. Absolutely. As I said, I absolutely love and adore you.
thank you.
You can go and have a look. So, for those who don't know everything, but I also run Just as Plain Weddings. We've got an amazing wedding magazine, and you're in one of those issues, so you can go check Shay out. She's also
Yeah.
coming out into the Corporate Escapists magazine. So, really excited about that. Now, before you go, we asked 5 questions just to sort of people get to know
Ooh,
you.
nice. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
So, the first question is, are you a tea or coffee person in the morning?
Well, it's the afternoon. I'm drinking coffee, so coffee through and
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I'm like, do not talk to me unless I've had a cup of coffee.
through.
Like,
Yeah,
it's just a
absolutely.
no-go. Even the dog looks at me going, "Oh, mum hasn't had a
Oh,
coffee
mum's
yet."
not
No,
happy.
no, not at all. So I totally get it. When you get some downtime, would you prefer to curl up and read a book or watch a movie?
I'm a book person, 100%. Movies, that's like if I say to my partner, "Let's watch a movie," he's like, "You're going to sleep." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Absolutely, I am." So a book girl, 100%. That's a new hobby, but I really like it.
Yeah, I love it. If you could, you're going on your dream destination, would you prefer to travel to get there by boat or by plane?
By plane, and I'm gonna tell you a funny story. I just went overseas for the first time with my partner to Bali, sorry, at the start of the year, and I thought, "Oh, yeah, I'm a boat girl." No, we
Yeah,
went to, Gili Island, and it was a 2-hour boat trek, and it was
yeah,
the hardest 2 hours of my life. So whilst I did think I was a boat girly, I'm
yeah.
definitely a plane girl now.
Okay, so no cruises for you.
I don't think so.
No. Love it. You are having an amazing dinner party and you're allowed to invite one special person from either the past or the present. Who would it be?
I Oh, this is such a tricky question. I don't think I've ever been asked it before. I think I would invite someone like Georgie Stevenson or Holding Space with Grace. One of those 2 girls, I find
Yeah.
they're both alive, shall I say as well. They are both two people that have inspired me incredibly to take my life into my own hands in all the best
Yeah.
ways and to really put myself out there. And as I mentioned, I'm very much into self-development and manifesting, and these two girls have instilled so much faith into my businesses without even knowing it. They, you know, they may not even know who I am, but to have
Yeah.
them at a dinner party and just have a casual conversation would just be, oh, knock me off my socks. I'm done. That's it. I'd be happy to die
Amazing.
then there.
Amazing. And if you could describe yourself in one word, what would that be?
I'm going to channel into what you said and say powerhouse. I believe
Yeah.
that I am, and that's, I think, why people say it a lot is because I
Yeah.
100% stand in that power all the time.
You certainly are, my friend. I'm just so excited. I love watching your journey. I love watching you
Oh, thank
evolve
you.
personally. So,
Mm,
yeah, hats off to you for everything that you
oh,
accomplish.
thank you so
So,
much. I appreciate
uh,
it.
oh, my absolute pleasure. So, we're going to pop all the links how you can reach out to Shay below. And yeah, go and check her out. Honestly, like seriously, I just wish I had that little bit of essence in me back then. So, so we're going to do it. Thank you so much for being here, beautiful. And I really do appreciate your time. Thank you to everyone who has watched this episode. Remember to live life to the fullest every single day. Love and light to you all.
Thank you.